I'm kind of new to the vinyl community. I've been collecting records for about a year and a half, seriously. But I've acquired my father's collection. That kind of got me started. All growing up, he had all the classics. Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Rush, that kind of stuff. Yes. Just gonna give you an overall tour of my man cave, as well as show you some of my quote unquote grails. So here we go. Here's my main wall in my man cave. Sorry, it's kind of dark. Just some posters and stuff. My Vernable Mark 3D Japanese market Techniques 1200 with the 440 MLA. I got a couple other Audio Technica cartridges. I also have a Audio Technica 120 USB that has a AT120 on it. 70,000 tons of metal. That's the cruise I go on every year. It's an awesome time. I'm a huge metalhead, and as you can see from the pictures, there's Smear from Destruction, Jeff Loomis, Matt Barlow, formerly Viced Earth, Chuck Billy, Gary Holt, Chuck Billy Testament, Gary Holt Exodus. This was from the first year, 2011. You got some Sanctuary. There's Smear again. There's Michael Stani from Dark Tranquility. There's him and Martin Hendrickson from Dark Tranquility. Gene Hoglan. Yeah, that's money right there. My man cave consists of a lot of magazines. I collect a lot of magazines from about the late 90s on. Guitar magazines. My dad gave me his whole collection of National Geographics. Excuse me. My stereo, it's a Yamaha receiver, 592. I bought it new in 1997. A fairly brand new set of Paradigm mini monitors I bought about 6 months ago. My Titans finally gave out on me. I've got a Velodyne subwoofer, 10-inch. Paid $45 for it at a estate sale. Can't go wrong with that. The woofer's perfect. It was like money. Some VHS. I'm transferring to digital format. I deployed as a civilian to Iraq and Afghanistan. This is about a lot of the awards and mementos from there. Collect pint glasses. Have a shit ton of those. Some other odds and ends. Beerstein, 70,000 tons of metal. More Iraq, Beavis and Butthead. Some other posters. Other signed stuff. My CD collection, it's about 500. Nothing huge, but not small either. Here's my metal vinyl collection. Some of them are missing because I have a stack of stuff I'm going to go through, like grails and whatnot. Some beer bottles, Shadows Fall. More magazines. Posters. Oh, by the way, I play guitar too. I have two Les Pauls, a Strat, a couple other things, a Charvel, Schecter, and all I have is a toaster of an amp, as I call it. Back over to this wall. I'm into craft beer big time. I went to that beer camp in San Diego. It was awesome. More excuse me, more military stuff. Excuse me. From when I deployed, other knickknacks. I used to have an S2000. I missed that car. My degrees. So that's about it. Let me set up the camera here. See if this works. Yeah, that should work. I don't have a tripod, so sorry about that. Alright, I'm also having a beer. It's called Long of Tooth. It's a collaboration between Surly and De Proof in Belgium. Pretty awesome stuff. Okay, enough of my jibber jabber about other bullshit. Let's go on to some of my records. Now you might think, Somewhere in Time. My favorite Maiden album, however, some people disagree with me. You think, it's a pretty common album. Well, not this one. By the way, I use MoFi Master sleeves. This is a Greek pressing. It's like an orange vinyl. It's in mint condition. I bought this in England when I came back from Afghanistan. I got it real cheap, and it's probably worth quite a bit of money. Anybody out there that knows how much this thing's worth, let me know. So basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some grails. I'm going to show you some other bands that I'm really into that get the word out there for people to check out. Let's see. Oh shit, this is upside down. Oh, okay. So I picked this up about 3 months ago now. King's X, Faith, Hope, and Love. It's kind of a rare album. It's a pretty good album too. I'm gonna move this over there. 1990 original pressing. Paid $10 for it. It was still sealed when I bought it. Didn't really want to open it, but I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." It's dead in mint condition. Original Atlantic Records release. Or sorry, Megaforce. I still have the original sleeve too. I just don't put it in there. See. If anybody has any King's X out there, let me know. I'm interested in getting some more, especially those first 4 albums are the ones I really like. Alright, here's a band that some of you probably haven't heard of. If you have heard of them, you rock. Hair Apparent. These guys are kind of like, they're from Seattle. They're kind of like a Queensryche clone. Rightfully so. This album, I really like it. I think it's awesome. They made another album before with a different lead singer. I thought it was okay. But the singer on this one's called Steve. His name is Steve Benito. I think it's this guy. I don't know. I've never seen, before I bought this album, I never saw this picture. I found this on eBay for a good price, so I picked it up. It's kind of cool. It's a collaboration between Metal Blade and Capitol Records. I don't know if you can see the label. I thought that was kind of interesting. This one didn't come with any special sleeve. It didn't even come with the lyric sheet. I don't know, maybe that's why I got it so cheap, but who knows? Alright. This is a reissue. Impact. This is my favorite Exodus album. A lot of people don't really care for this album. I think it's awesome. It's on Back on Black Records, right there. It's a gatefold. This was a 1990 original release, so the original of this is really hard to find. It's really expensive. I'm really impressed with these Back on Blacks. Every one I've bought, the quality is really good, even on colored vinyl. I'll give you an example. I just bought Testament's last album. I can't even remember the name of it. It came out 2 years ago. It's on this gold with black streak vinyl. It sounds like garbage, so I'm actually getting rid of it. I didn't really care for the album anyways, but it was a good price, so I picked it up. I'm just going to get rid of it. This is on blue vinyl, and it sounds really good. I've played this about 10 times. I'm very impressed. Alright. Exodus Atrocity Exhibit A. This album rules. And this is one of those few albums that's digitally released originally that I think sounds pretty freaking good. It's really bold sounding for a record. I mean, you don't have to turn the volume up very high. But it still retains a little bit of that analog sound, even though this was, modern production in 2007. This album is on, I believe it's on red vinyl. Let me check. Yep, red vinyl. Nuclear Blast Records. This is the original. This is the original release. I had this sealed for a long time, but about 2 weeks ago I was having some beers and I decided, fuck it, I'm going to open it up. And I'm glad I did because it's awesome. And you can still find this thing sealed for like $20-25. Alright, haha. For those of you that haven't heard this band, if you like classic old school metal with some additional shredding guitar playing, this is your band. These guys are called Ex Mortis. They're out of LA area. I hung out with these guys about a week ago. They played in my hometown. I saw them back in January with Dark Tranquility. These guys are awesome, and they're cool guys too. They're young kids. They're in their mid to late 20s. But if you like classic old school metal with incredible guitar playing, get this. I think they have their first album was on vinyl. This is the only one I have. This is the only one I've heard. I know, bad me, right? But if you find this in the store, pick it up. Alright, this is kind of a grail, you may say. This is Crimson Glory's Transcendence, still sealed. I picked this up really cheap. That's not the price I picked it up for. I picked it up for more than that, but as you can see, the cellophane is kind of coming off it. One of the guys on the vinyl community, the guy from Boston, I don't remember your screen name, dude. Sorry, but I messaged him and told him about this one. He's like, man, you should open that up. I'm tempted, but the cardboard's not in the greatest condition. It's got a couple creases up here, but this album rules. I would like to open it up, maybe, but I don't know. Give me some feedback. Let me know if I should open it up. This is a great album. Some would regard this as a progressive metal classic. Alright, another grail that I haven't opened yet. If you guys haven't heard of this band, they're from Finland. If you're into melodic death metal like Old In Flames, Dark Tranquillity, Soilwork, Edge of Sanity, anything Dan Swano, you guys will dig this. In fact, Dan Swano produces this album. Omnium Gatherum, Beyond. Pick this up if you can find it. You're not going to find the vinyl because there's only 100 made. I got number 55. This album is epic and awesome. Now, I got into these guys back like 10, 12 years ago when they put out their first album. It's called Spirit in August Light or something like that. And I thought it was okay. I read all these reviews that they said it was awesome. And I got their second album and I was like, I kind of lost interest. I saw these guys open for Dark Tranquillity. By the way, Dark Tranquillity is like one of my favorite freaking bands. My top 5 favorites. And these guys ruled. And they're the nicest dudes. We partied on their tour bus till like 4 in the morning. It was incredible. So if you find this on CD, get it. Omnium Gatherum Beyond. This came out 2013. Alright, another one I should probably open up. Okay, so let's just rewind here. When I was in Afghanistan last year, I got bored one day. I said, what are my 5 favorite bands? In order, number 1 through 5. Number 1, Pink Floyd, all the way. I've grown up listening to them. No denying they're the best band that's ever walked the face of the planet, in my opinion. David Gilmour is my favorite guitar player of all time. Rightfully so, they're my number 1 favorite band. Number 2, Rush. If you see, I have 2 or 3 Rush posters, and I think I have 5 Pink Floyd posters. Indicator of my favorite bands, right? Number 3, Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, okay, let me get to that in a minute. Hypocrisy is a death metal band, melodic death metal band from Sweden. They're awesome, they're epic. Their albums are have a wide variety of material. Very melodic, but yet brutal at the same time. Like, go from song to song, it's complete change in mood. I like that kind of stuff. I think it's cool. It shows some dynamics in the band. Number 4, Dark Tranquillity, which I'll show you in a minute. I'm kind of a fan. I've become friends with those guys over the years, thanks to the 70,000 Tons of Metal cruise. And every time they play the States, I'm always front row. And their lead singer, Mikael Stani, like, always sees me in the front row. And he always like gives me a hug after the show. When I lived in St. Louis, he invited me with the rest of the guys in the band. We went to a strip club together. And then on the cruise, we did karaoke. He's a huge Rush fan. I think that's how we kind of really hit it off. And my number 5th favorite band is Old Queensryche. However, I do like the new Queensryche with the new singer, not the Jeff Tate garbage band. But in my opinion, hear me out, Jeff Tate was the best operatic vocalist in the 80s, in my opinion. I'm a huge Dio, huge Priest, huge Maiden fan. I like his vibrato, his delivery. It's incredible to me. So that's why I dig Tate's stuff. Up until really the last good Queensryche album was Promised Land. After that, for me. And anybody has Promised Land on vinyl, I want it. It's rare as fuck. Okay, so back to Hypocrisy. This is the side band from the lead singer Peter Tägtgren, who's like a music genius. And this is like his industrial band. It used to be a side project, but this band sells a shit ton in Europe. In fact, I remember like 15 years ago, in Sweden it outsold 9 Inch Nails. Like, they were kind of compared the same, and it outsold 9 Inch Nails. This is his last album. It's called You Only Live Twice. This album's awesome. Unfortunately, this doesn't cover any. There should be, on the CD and the download version, there's some bonus tracks. Of course, the vinyl doesn't have those. They should have made it a double album, but they didn't. It's on 180 gram vinyl, blue vinyl, I guess. But I don't know. I never opened it. I just thought it was cool. I got it really cheap from Nuclear Blast Records. All right, so I was in DC for work and came across this. I don't know if anybody you guys know who this band is. Excuse me. They're not around anymore, but these guys were awesome, and this was arguably their best album. Light of Day, Day of Darkness might have been a pinch better. But I really like this one. They came out with one more, and then they did a live album, and they were done. Green Carnation. T-Court from Blood Red Throne is like the main mastermind of this band. He wanted to do more extreme stuff, so he just gave up. He gave up Green Carnation. I paid $10 for this, and it's limited to 1,000 copies. So it's on 180 gram vinyl. It's very heavy. Either that or it's a double album. I think it's 180 gram because this wasn't that long of an album. This is 2003, so probably kind of valuable, and it's still sealed too. I've played the CD to death since. I mean, I bought that CD new in 2003. Awesome, awesome band. So if you guys are into like Amorphous or anything kind of folky, Scandinavian, really melodic, no death metal vocals, check this band out. This album especially. Green Carnation, Blessing in Disguise. Alright, this is kind of a grail I got for cheap. I don't know for you Maiden fans out there. ASAP, this is Adrian Smith's first solo band from '89, I believe. I picked this up for like $12, I think. It's in really good condition. The original EMI pressing, I think it's English pressing. Vinyl is mint. I've only played this once. Nice, shiny kind of cover. Not a bad album. I remember listening to it on cassette or CD at a CD store. I never bought it. But, you know, I was younger and I thought, nah, it's kind of lame. I was like a big Maiden fan in, high school. But went back and listened to this, and it's actually pretty good. So, Silver and Gold from ASAP. Probably kind of rare. Alright, this album just came out. It's supposed to come out on Tuesday. By the way, this is August 31st, 2014. It's supposed to come out Tuesday. I got it in the mail yesterday. Yeah. The Haunted Exit Wounds. These guys got back together, and for you guys that are familiar with this band, it's members of At the Gates and a couple other Swedish guys. They're old. Okay, they have two singers. The original one and Marco Aro, and then the original one came back. And now Marco Aro isn't back in the band. I saw these guys on the last 70,000 Tons of Metal cruise, and they fucking ruled. So I picked up the new album. It's pretty good. It's kind of a mix between their third album, which is called Haunted Made Me Do, or no, Haunted, I guess their second album Made Me Do It, and a mix between that and like the Deadeye, from the Peter Dolving era. It's good. It's a little bit throwback, but a little bit still modern. I was kind of expecting more of just a throwback, like old school, just thrashing craziness, but no, it's kind of a mix of two styles. This came on red vinyl. I won't get it out. It's nothing special in terms of the red transparent vinyl, as you see from the sticker. Haunted Exit Wounds, pretty good album. Alright, Queensryche, here we go. I found this in St. Louis at a store, fairly cheap. It was like $20, $25. It was still sealed. I opened it up. It's a bootleg from the Empire tour from November 1990, I believe. Yeah, Germany, November 27, 1990. So you can see here on the label, there's the ticket from that show. It's kind of funny, the pictures are from like, that looks like either, I think that's Warning era Queensryche. And then this looks like, just based on Jeff Tate's hair, that looks like Rage for Order. But the recording quality is, okay. I guess for 1990 it was alright. But I thought it was cool, so I picked it up. I've only seen this one other time. So I figured I'd pick it up, since I'm a massive Reich fan. And on that subject, the same place in St. Louis, I found this. Autographed 1984, as you can see. QR84 right here. I think this was the bass player, Mike, Eddie signed it. It's got Chris DeGarmo. That's one of my favorite guitar players. The reason I like DeGarmo so much is because he's kind of in the vein of the David Gilmour kind of very bendy, just very soulful kind of playing. Very good note selection, so to say. I'm kind of a guitar critic, so I love DeGarmo's playing, and I feel that the band really took a dive after he left the band. This is their second album, The Warning, of course. For those of you who know, it's a classic record. It's in mint condition. I have a reissued version on 180 gram vinyl. That's the one I play. I just let this one sit on the shelf. I've had that forever on CD and cassette. Alright, so I went to an antique store about a month ago, and they have probably a million records there. Nothing's sorted. It's all just sitting on shelves. So I decided, hey, I'm going to spend 6 hours, and I'm going to look through it all. And this is one of the albums I found. This album is awesome. It's not in very good condition. The spine is toast. The vinyl's pretty toasted too. It's called Warrior Fighting for the Earth. This album is awesome. I just looked at it because I saw some guys playing Flying V's. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll pick it up. I was blown away. I put on my shitty cartridge on my turntable, and I was blown away. And as you can see, the vinyl's got massive scratches on it. So I need to find another copy of this. But I was blown away. It's very Manowar, kind of Judas Priest kind of style metal. Really, for their debut album, really well written. I don't think there's really a bad song on the album. Some kind of epic songs, some very traditional metal. So check this out, Warrior Fighting for the Earth. It's on MCA Records, came out in about 1985. They came out with some albums afterwards, like in the early 2000s, but apparently they kind of lost their luster. All right, so already I wasn't gonna let's say burst the bubble, so to say, but on the subject of Dark Tranquility, as you can see, I'm kind of a fan. For those of you that don't have any of these guys, have any of their albums, definitely pick them up. This is their last album. It's called Construct. Came out in 2013. Fiction. So I'm missing. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in time. And Fiction came out in 2007. They came out with an album between then. We Are the Void, and I didn't really care for that album, so I haven't tried to seek it out or anything. There's one between Fiction and this one. It's called Character. I need it bad. For any of you out there that have it, I want it. Damage Done, awesome album, 2002. Some of these are signed because I had them before I saw them in the last tour. You can see Mikhail Stani did a cool little face thing there. Projector, my second favorite from them, 1999. This is when they introduced clean vocals. Kind of a change in songwriting. It was an awesome change. I really liked the album. This was the first time I got from them. I got it on CD back in '98 on Osmos Records. The Gallery, this is The Mind's Eye. Great record. Probably not one of my favorites anymore, but I still have a soft spot for it because, of course, it's the first time I heard from them. And then The Gallery. This is the reissue, double album from Century Media on 180 gram vinyl. The original of this is like 500 copies. It's worth like $150. At least it goes for that on eBay. So for you metalheads out there that are into like melodic stuff, even if you're into more traditional metal, I think you like these guys. Dark Tranquility, check them out. They're one of my top 5 favorite bands. Alright, here's a guy that my uncle got me into back in the mid-90s or so. Tony Carey. He used to be the keyboard player for Rainbow on the first 2 albums, I believe. He started doing his own stuff in the early 80s. And they formed like this proggy kind of a side project band called the Planet P Project. Came out 2 albums originally. The first album, self-titled, and then they came out with this one. This is an epic freaking album. It's kind of related to, in terms of epicness, to like Pink Floyd The Wall. Well, this is the promo copy. You can see the gold label on it right there. Pink vinyl, pretty awesome. There you go. This album rules. I mean, I play it on a regular basis. I don't play this. I actually have a second copy. It's just normal black vinyl. I found sealed here in my store locally. So I play that one all the time. But this album is awesome. They made a couple videos for this. They didn't play on MTV very much. And they're not good quality on the uploads on YouTube. But Behind the Barrier and What I See are the videos. And What I See is probably my favorite song on the album. Either that or, I mean, there's so many good songs on this album. The title track is awesome. Behind the Barrier, awesome. So if you're into like anything progressive, this is a concept album about this kid Artemis who basically has the chosen people, and he makes a barrier, like some type of to ward off any nuclear missiles coming in. So he has like these chosen people. They come in the barrier, and they live. That's the gist of the story. But if you're into that kind of shit, anything with a story, concept album, this is really fucking good 80s stuff. Really good. Alright, this isn't really that rare, but I got it from my father's record collection. Satriani, Serving the Alien, original pressing, Relativity Records. And it's dead mint. I mean, there's not even a crease on it. As you can see, it's perfect. This album is the album that made me want to play guitar. I remember hearing it on my dad's stereo. He played this record, this one right here, this actual copy, and I was blown away. Completely blown away. I never heard anything like that in my life. I mean, I've heard Jeff Beck before that, some other solo artists, but this album is legendary. I'm very happy to have that. I've always wanted that copy from my father. Alright, so this isn't that common either, or this isn't that rare, I should say. But I actually picked up the Mo-Fi version. And this is like one of my favorite albums of the 80s. This album and the first album, The Hurting, are tremendous. I didn't really care for Seeds of Love, or the hell that third album is called. After that, after Kurt Young left, I just lost interest. This album is awesome. This is some of the greatest 80s rock there is out there. And based on just the difference between these two, this album, this is from my father's collection too, and if you haven't seen, my father took awesome care of his shit. So this album is mint condition, and it plays flawlessly. But I decided to buy this just to see if there was anything in it any little nuanced sounds that I picked up. And there's some quiet passages I picked up on this that I didn't hear on the original. So I was pretty happy with the Mo-Fi release. It wasn't that expensive. It was like $28 or something. So I picked it up. Alright, so there's another one from my father's collection. This is the original Hot Rats. Apparently this is worth quite a bit of money. I actually haven't listened to it yet. I've of course heard this album as a kid, but the only thing my father did on these older albums when he was younger, he always wrote the condition in the top corner. I know that deteriorates the value. But the cardboard is really good. The vinyl is really good. This is the original 1969 pressing. I think it's from 69. So it's mint. Even though it has the writing on it. It's the blue reprise label as well. The price guide says it's like $50, but I've seen stuff in that price guide, listed high that doesn't sell for shit. And then I've seen stuff on the market in that price guide that's priced at one thing and it goes for way more on the market. So I don't know what to believe of that price guide stuff. So I guess it's a matter of popularity, I guess. Alright, so this is a grail I picked up 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't believe I found it. Led Zeppelin.